Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Well-versed man. I got some my dreaded Sargent locks for the dreaded project that we had all scrambled to get done. And I think some of them, I don't think security people did their jobs correctly. So I got all these electric locks, and they're saying half a dozen of them are bad. Half a dozen, which doesn't strike me as right. So the $20 question to you is there a way to tell if a lock is getting power without pulling the whole lock out?
Yes. I mean, something has to come off. I mean, if it's a through wire hinge, you could remove the hinge and throw your multimeter on the hinge. But you got to get the multimeter somewhere as close to the lock as possible.
Right, but there's no jack or anything. So if you could pop the armor plate off, there's no jack or anything that you could touch anything and tell if it's getting juice.
No way that I'm familiar with. Yeah, there's no port, no easy access to those wires because they're headed in the opposite direction, obviously. Right.
I just didn't know if there was something that I didn't know. You know, people come to me like they come to you, as if we're all seeing, all knowing. And sometimes things like this, I'm not. So I call you.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a second opinion, partner.
No doubt, and I'm glad I'm part of the conversation.
You always are. You're a very valued vendor to us. Trust me. So you're very valued. You've been in contact with Matt this week, haven't you?
Last week, a couple of times.
Last week. When I say this week, yeah, that's because I was on vacation. What?
How was it?
It wasn't as warm as I wanted it to be. I was in Arizona, and I thought it might be a little warmer. And it was pretty brisk in the morning. Yeah,
right. You got to get to like 12:30, and then you stand outside and just under the sun. Because I was just in Scottsdale for DHI classes, and I said about a month ago, yeah, it's a little brisk in the morning.
I went out to play golf, and I had to play in a hoodie.
Oh boy!
For me. You laugh. You laugh, but the locals were playing in coats.
Oh, there's no question about that. I mean,
they're not cut out for that kind of weather.
They're not, and people are put on watches. You like wellness checks.
Yeah, really.
Certain people.
All right, so that's what I needed to hear from you. Was there any way to see if but even if the hinge is hot, that doesn't mean they got all the plugs set correctly on the terminals.
You're talking 28 gauge wire, being passed through a 3/4 or 1 inch hole saw cut into a hinge reinforcement. Lots of opportunity to, touch that wire. There are lots of opportunity not to terminate them correctly if they don't have connectors. It could be a faulty connector. But, Sargent's, I've not heard of a lock coming out, a lock body coming out. Sargent, of the Assa Abloy people, Sargent is at the top. Sargent and Medico, these guys, they don't ask them how to spell the word, electrified, but man, they can build them. So 6 of them. I mean, if you had a job of 6,000, sure, I could see that, but a job of 50 or 10.
Yeah, it's like a job of 50,
right.
And it might even be more than 6 of them. So it's your opinion that it ain't the locks going, it's something else.
Well,
Just opinion. I'm not holding you to any opinion.
There's no doubt. And then what else people do is they'll buy one big power supply to work, let's say, a half a dozen openings of these locks. Well, maybe they had one bad power supply, or something was not right there as well. Because everything that I hear, the joke used to be, you got your painter who's installing who's hanging your doors or putting your door closers on. Well, now it's evolved to, now you got your painters who are putting in, access control. So what I hear from the big people that, are in Allegiant and Assa Abloy, the caliber of the installer is plummeting, is pitiful. I don't bump into that much, but a lot of the electrified hardware I sell are to people who said, okay, now tell me where to put the wires. Like, okay, let's do it. But, electrified locks and then switches, there's more than just a keypad for an electrified lock. There's probably a door position sensor. There's access control involved where you're auditing. And
that's the thing. These are DX features. So when you said access control, that's what is going through my mind.
The point being, it's not just an electric strike, right, Mike? With
no.
a button. There's more.
Right.
More. So lots of opportunities for things to not go right. And the fact that that you're talking an 8% failure rate, there has to be something else. Or it was a real bad Friday for whoever was putting those locks together.
Yeah, I got to believe it's something like that. But I just wanted your opinion. Richard, as always, I appreciate your help.
Thank you for calling, sir. Call anytime.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program.